great start. Are y'all for the U or are you for
I like Indiana stuff.
I love Indiana story, everything about it.
Beaver race.
Oh yeah. Like he learned everybody's name on the team. That's gonna be 100 people.
This first play, that goes not well. Touchdown.
You gotta do something.
Foul's going on, so it comes to the first foul. First team foul, 2 shots.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I'll ask my son about it.
Helping my buddy make a website too. He does online fitness coaching. Hopefully this one up and running pretty soon. We're getting pretty close to a baseball season, right?
Yep.
That's what I'm talking about.
You like baseball?
Oh, yeah. I started playing when I was 4 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
sir.
How you doing? Good. Good to see you. Been a while, huh? Since before the holiday.
It was my month now, I think.
Yeah.
I was doing some middle school games. Nothing too crazy. You have a good Christmas?
It was wonderful.
First team foul.
know. He's like, dude, just you and me. That's what he said. Just you and me, man. That's what he said. He was wrong. Oh my God. I was like, just you and me.
things are going well. Got a doctor's appointment yesterday. He said he really likes everything. He's really just been doing everything at the school with the trainer. Like that was that's been a great surprise. have his next when he comes back, or his schedule starts.
So is he doing both strengthening and range of motion?
Mostly range of motion. They're trying to now start getting the strength in the quad back. He's lost 25 pounds. It's not good. I mean, he didn't have the weight. I would love to lose 25 pounds. He does not need to lose 25 pounds. He would, I think he went from like just shy of 180 to 155. It is. And the thing is, like,
He's not hitting weight.
well, the weightless did not do it. So, like, he's going and learning how to use his constantly.
Yes, I have not.
And he tries to make himself easy. He's just not doing as much against as he was before. And I don't know. We're a little worried about it. So we asked the trainer and asked the surgeon, like, I mean, not like it's normal, but it's not anything to worry about. Trainer's like, just steak and potatoes, steak and potatoes, steak and potatoes. Which is his normal. Yeah. So other than that, like he got off of crutches 2 weeks earlier than he was going to, which is huge. But he doesn't get off those really fast.
You know that doesn't happen on
Don't shoot that. We need to take that shot. So the first 2 weeks after getting off crutches, it was locked, and now he's got it unlocked so he can do steps. And then in 2 more weeks, he's totally off the race, which sounds so bizarre to me. But when he sleeps, I mean, he hasn't slept in it. He hasn't been sleeping in it for a while. Like doing anything. He's like, just be careful. He goes, that's when you have to be really smart. You guys, think they're fine, and they do something stupid. Because he doesn't want them jogging. He's still ways off from jogging. So anyway,
But he feels progress. I think what all it was 3 weeks ago.
mentally better.
Slow shot clock is strange. It's like a slow shot clock.
I hope before Drew graduates and that changes, but oh, now I see what you're talking about.
Odd strategy at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Like, no corners and run out, finish and flop.
I mean, I've seen Taylor with like a 2 or 3 point lead, sitting on the game, like, not like an 8-point lead with 45 seconds left. But it's worked. And I guess it's frustrating because you can't do anything about it. If you're good ball handler and you're smart, he feels like he has like a high IQ, good ball handling team that you can do. But all it takes is one dumb pass or
It'd be hard to shift the mentality. The mentality goes like, try to run out the clock. And it's gonna be like,
Right.
yeah, I need to do this.
oh shoot, I got you.
Yeah.
Got a good price?
Paid extra for that. I got it on Ticketmaster. I don't know. I can't sit at the back support. That's why I'm always at the top of the gym. We'll find like blue hoodie. Oh yeah, they did. Sorry, I got the blue quarters good. Yeah. I mean, I do like the way that looks. Yeah. Probably would know. That's a good question. Yeah, is it just like looked at and say, hey, you look so blue red, but she's white. He's white and medium. Honey, I bought you some balls. Do you have somebody that waits on you when you go with a dessert cart that comes by?
And the service blues too.
It's going to go in my car after
That place is great, but they don't have video boards. Walk down the street and we thought last year was like temporary, so their video boards came in, and I would say it's not. I guess that's what they're going with. Spend all this money on bands and don't put out a video board.
Knew that was going to happen sooner or later.
Traditional old school.
I do too.
You have all the help you need with national anthem and all that stuff?
So,
Figure it out.
one of the, so, you know, the cheer has the regular cheer squad, and then they have the spirited scouts. Really neat program. And they were supposed to do another game, and I think they're bailing on us. We'll either backfill it or something, or we don't have to do anything.
Just don't get Carl Lewis to sing the national anthem.
Get Marissa Stockwood to do it again. Is that what I need to do? Said don't get Carl Lewis to sing the national anthem.
I think it's Kurt's turn next.
said,
Is that it?
Get Marissa.
Not going through a freshman parent?
You need to give me like a whole bottle of tequila. There you go.
We're going to monotone talk this national anthem.
Yeah. Read it in interpretive
We're going to
reading.
read it in poetry.
Her family is actually like full of like talented artists. And you get them together at a family party or whatever, and you love it.
Are they play instruments too, or is it all singing?
They got singers, we got pianists,
Oh my gosh, that's
we got guys on the guitar, we got all guys on the harmonica.
That's awesome.
It's wild.
Can you just pull up the hoop for Alex?
Yeah.
Threes, what's going on?
That'll do it. Steven's happy. Turned out he was like a coach at Christian. He got in some sort of car accident. And he was like working at school. But he just like sort of adopted out of art because it was close back and forth where he was going to school from home to work. And he just started going to girls basketball games. And then he became a guys basketball games. And he belonged on the volleyball team. And it just obviously getting into it. We're starting to get
At the last day or the last time?
12 minutes, so 53.
Well, last year Mari was so good. It was like a secondary. Yeah. It was the second time we played in Xavier, which was really good. Yeah. He's a lot better than Lakeland.
How'd you like that picture on
Like
sex change?
these guys all had Mari, Price, and Xavier.
We put a lot of trying basketball in
So bad. Yeah. Who was the guy you're talking about? Gladys.
Michael and come to you later. He plays for Blue Shot. He's left-handed. Super quick. How good he was one of the best players on the floor. And people would look at him, and the other teams would look at him. First of all, he's a white guy, he's medium height, and those glasses. And you're like, look up the work here. And he was this foot. He was like a football.
It's so nice when that happens. A lot of times it happens.
What is that, right?
Yeah, it's nice when it happens.
I don't know. Bill was probably 13 maybe. We played there. We could play in the truck when we got the 15 minutes. So yeah, he was probably 13. And then next year we played that tournament. But we made it to the finals. We got this guy who played defensive line for Penn State. He was just an absolute beast. There was nothing wrong. He was killed. So that would have been
We're going to find out next week. Like Texas, wait this next week. And then some of them don't happen until like February, mid-February. So make a decision. Yeah. I'm not doing it solo, I'll tell you that.
I like to be on my feet.
I'll probably stand if you're standing. That way I can hear you.
All right, cool. Same here.
Yeah. You want me to call you Matt or Matthew?
Matthew. Or Matt.
No, I'm gonna call you Matthew.
I've been called worse. We're gonna have a good time.
What do y'all do during the?
I go right before, bring an introduction,
Okay.
and then we go into the national anthem.
Okay, perfect.
Which I don't know if they're gonna do that tonight.
I assume they will.
Hey Ty. Happy Friday and welcome back to Game One Sports Network for another Highland Park basketball production. My name is Matthew Bryce. We have a special guest, Mr. John Hochter. Welcome, John.
Welcome. Thank you. I don't even know if this mic is on. Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you loud and clear,
Okay,
sir.
great. Glad to do it.
We'll be right back after the national anthem. And now we will have the player introductions for both Highland Park and the Colony. Your Highland Park Scots coming up first.
I can hear you loud and clear. Yes, sir.
And that was the starting lineups for Highland Park and the Colony. Let's go over them again. Cannon Wide, Cade Kaplan, Chris Martinez in the backcourt for the Scots. Conrad Noble, Will Saunders in the front court for the Scots. For the Colony, you got Ryan Lattendorf, Xavier Green, Bryce Dixon, Aaron Schwanto, and the sophomore, Big Trey Brown.
Matthew, you know everything's going to run through 5 and 13. Green and Dixon, that's their two best players. This team had a lot of talent last year. They lost some talent to transfers and graduation, but those two are definitely their two best players.
100%, John. Both Dixon and Green. I've seen them both personally when they were sophomores a couple of years ago against Frisco Lone Star, back when they were playing in their old gym. This is a brand new facility that they have opened up, and I got to tell you, they did a great job building it.
It's incredible. We played here last year. I think it was the first season of playing there, and it's a nice place.
The Colony controlling the tip. Toronto getting it back to Xavier Green, and now you got Trey Brown. Trey Brown, 6'3", a sophomore. Getting it over to his guy, Bryce Dixon. You see the double team immediately from Highland Park, and they force a turnover.
Well, I'm going to give you a little scouting report because this is basically the same defense we ran on Tuesday against Wakeland. Plan's going to be just to double the ball when it gets to 13 to Dixon. We're going to do our best to try and keep the ball out of Xavier's hands and face guard him.
Perfect game plan that worked against Wakeland on Tuesday night when your Highland Park Scots beat Wakeland 80-61. Cannon wide, deep from three. Yes, indeed. And there's your first 3 points of the game, John.
It's a great start. We can get Cannon off early. That's great.
And Cannon Wide, who is known for his fast starts, he had 25 the other night. And Chris Martinez bringing it up the court. Gets a screen from Conrad Noble, cutting to the basket. Back to Kaplan. Another three. Corner. Yes, indeed.
There we go.
Cannon Wide. And that's 6 points, 2 for 2 from three-point land. Your Scots leading 6-0. We are below the 7-minute mark. 6:50 and ticking here in the first. And you see Highland Park continuing to play great defense, rotating. No one leaving a man open. Cutting to the basket. There's that man, Xavier Green.
That's what happens when you let him catch the ball. So that's what we're going to try and do, is not let him catch, because when he catches, he's going downhill.
6-2, Highland Park leading. Martinez, he's got Green in his free hip pocket. Screen from Saunders. Martinez into Saunders. Saunders, the Washington and Lee commit. Congratulations, Will. There's Cade Kaplan. Baseline straight to the basket. Cade Kaplan. Yes, sir.
It's a great take from Cade.
Cade Kaplan, his first shot of the night. First points of the night. Highland Park 8, the Colony 2. Xavier Green getting it over to Brown. Small mid-range, and he hits it. Bringing us to 8-4. We got a 5-minute and 58-second stoppage here with a timeout. That's the Colony calling that timeout.
Well, I'll tell you what, anytime the Colony gets any production from anybody outside of Green and Dixon, that's just bonus points for them. So we've got to make sure that, we're not getting none of those guys really get hot and get going, but still the game plan is just to stop their two main guys.
And, John, you've seen Green and Dixon personally yourselves.
Oh, yes. So last year they had also, in addition to those two, Dakari Spear, who's one of the top 2 or 3 players in the state, played for them last year. They had Dixon. They had Green. They had another big shooter from the outside. They came into our place, and we won by 27 or 28. It wasn't even that close. We came back here in their gym, and they put it on us. So they have the ability to get going and get some momentum, and usually their crowd's in it. Not as big of a crowd as we're expecting to see tonight.
Cannon wide, long range. Shot that one from 121, nothing doing. Here comes the Colony. There's Xavier Green, the senior. He's got 2 points so far. Cade Kaplan in his hip pocket, rotation defense. Great job by the Scots, and they leave a man open. It's Aaron Twanto, the senior big man. And we're at 8-6 now. The Colony keeping it close. Highland Park lead. Wyatt for 3. Nothing. Rebounded. Big wheel. Can't finish. And that's going to be out on the Colony.
Like to see Will hitting the boards like that early. That's great.
And Big Will, he's got some competition in there. Bryce Dixon was shadowing him. Good-sized kid himself. Martinez Jr. going to throw it in. Cannon wide off the screen. Getting it over to Noble, back to Kaplan. And that's Ryan Lindorf in Cade Kaplan's hip pocket. But Cannon wide back with it. The Colony also showing some good rotation on defense. Oh, Martinez chopping, and he draws the foul.
It's a heck of a move. Kid's got a lot of talent. It's unbelievable.
And Chris Martinez looking to make an and one mixtape highlight right away. And he's going to go to the free throw strike. First shot up. Yes, sir.
Think about this, Matthew. This kid's 15 years old playing like this. In the next 2-3 years, the trajectory that he's going to be on is going to be amazing.
And a great free throw shooter. You love to see it. Stretching Highland Park's lead to 10-6. 4:47 to go and ticking here in the first quarter, John. And Trey Brown's bringing it up. Young sophomore handling the ball for the Colony. Xavier Green catching it. Shot. Can't finish. Brown the rebound. He's going to go back up with it. Runner. Nothing doing. Chris Martinez with it. Here comes Martinez on the move. He's got Wyatt Kaplan in the corner, but Wyatt's going to go to the basket.
Nice
Cannon wide. 8 points. for Cannon wide. 12-6 Highland Park. And there's Trey Brown muscling his way. Big Will said, welcome to the block party, son.
It's great defense. I'll tell you what, that last defensive set where we could force a deep three, that's what we're going to look to do. Then you got to box out and get the rebound, and then we get out on the press. That's textbook.
And Twanto is going to flush it.
That is not textbook. Little miscue, missed assignment on the inbound play. But that's all right. It's 2 points. Whether it's a dunk or not, it's still worth 2 points.
Martinez was looking to pull it. He's going to get it over to Wyatt. 12-8 Highland Park leading. And Will back to Wyatt. Wyatt getting it in to Saunders as he cut to the basket. Kaplan, three-pointer. Yes, sir. And
Big
Cade
shot.
Kaplan with 5 points.
That's great ball movement.
Another three coming back from the Colony. Wow, Ryan Lattendorf.
This game might outscore the girls' game in the first quarter. That was a defensive battle that the girls had before this one.
Highland Park girls coming out victorious earlier in the game before this one. Will getting it over to Chris Martinez Jr. Martinez, Big Will, corner three from 121, nothing doing. Rebounded Twanto.
It's a great look in the corner. It's a good shot, just didn't fall.
And Will,
extra steps there.
And you like Will to take that shot. He is a great shooter. And there's Green. Xavier Green with it. Cougars going to slow it down a little bit. And there's Dixon. They're going to get Conrad Noble for a foul.
Yeah, you'll see Will will take his threes. They'll come out of paint touches for the most part. So Will will set up in the corner or he'll get on the wing. We'll get a good paint touch and a kick out. You don't see Will trying to take a three off a dribble or forcing anything. His threes always come wide open off of good looks. That was a good look. It just didn't fall.
And we got some substitutions. Spencer Olmanson coming into the game. Alex Stockwood, two youngsters on the court. Stockwood joining his best friend, Chris Martinez Jr., on the court for the Scots. 2:47 to go here in the first period. Highland Park leading 15-11. Post.
There's the double. Extra steps there.
And there's Trey Brown with the three. Nothing doing. Martinez Jr. to rebound. Here comes Martinez getting it up to Olmanson, and they slow it down. And Olmanson straight to the basket, get it over to Big Will. Muscling his way in, and they say he's got an offensive foul.
That's a tough call. You'll see refs will like to try and they love the charge, so if they get a chance to call it, they're going to call it. But it looked like that was a little bit of a flop. But that's all right. We still got a 4-point lead. Here we go.
2 minutes, 27 seconds to go and ticket. First quarter. Highland Park still leading. Cougars coming up the court, and this time you got Xavier Green bringing it up. Gets a screen from Twanto. Green blocked. Here comes Martinez, getting it up to Stockwood. Finishing, cannot. Trey Brown, Big Will to rebound. Back to Stockwood, back to Martinez Jr. for three. Nothing doing, rebound Trey Brown. Here come the Cougars. Xavier Green with it. Green straight to the basket. Cannot finish, great defense. Spencer Olmanson the rebound. He draws the foul.
And frenetic pace, back and forth. Both teams missing some chippies underneath the basket.
And in a way, it may remind you how the game started on Tuesday night. It was the same way when they played Wakeland. Up and down, lots of running, some unfinished baskets by both teams.
I'll say this, Highland Park will like pace. We will not be afraid of a high-scoring game. That's where we're more comfortable. So the pace is good for the Scots.
Charlton Bradford in the game. His big brother Harrison Bradford in the building. And there is Spencer Olmanson with his first 2 points of the night. Nice mid-range jumper from Spencer. And Trey Brown has it. He's going to get it over to a corner three. Nothing doing. There was Ryan Lattendorf. Big Will to rebound. Olmanson running. Olmanson going to slow it down. Martinez Jr. with it. Straight down the lane. Finger roll. Cannot finish. He draws the foul. And Chris Martinez Jr. back to the free throw line once again.
It's a lot of power in small package with Chris. He is not afraid to take it to the rack and draw contact.
And that's one thing you're going to see very, very often with these guards here at Highland Park. None of these guys are afraid to crash that paint and get to the basket. They don't care who's under their guard net.
That's right.
Martinez hitting the first free throw. And he misses second. Martinez got it. Big Wheel tips it out. Charlton Bradford. Yes, sir. Bradford for 3.
Charlton's hit some big threes for us this year.
Charlton can get hot. 21-11. Highland Park lead, 10-point lead. 3-pointer up from the Colony. No, sir. Bradford the rebound. Here come the Scots. Stockwood has it. He's going to slow it down. Martinez with it. Back to Stockwood. Stockwood was looking to go to the basket. Stolen. Xavier Green coming with it. The Colony on the move. Runner from Green. And it's good. 4 points from Xavier Green. And we got a timeout on the floor. Excuse me, a foul call.
Yeah, they got him for the reach in.
Okay.
That's his football playing acumen coming in there. Xavier's, I think he's committed. I don't know if he's committed or signed. I think he's signed to go play at Tulsa. He's a quarterback.
Yes,
he's going
sir.
to play at Tulsa next year.
Xavier Green, one of the many 2 sports stars that have come out of the Colony. Reminiscent of Bamfield Harmon years ago. Bam was an all-state wide receiver and first-team all-state basketball player here for the Cougars. 16 seconds to go and ticking. Highland Park holding for the last shot. 21-13. The Scots lead it wide over to Olminson. Olminson over to Stockwood. Stockwood. He's going to pull it. Nothing. Rebounded. Twanto. We got to tie up.
It's Scott's ball.
Possession. Highland Park with 2 seconds to go. Highland Park getting another crack at it. 21-13. They lead.
We're really good out of these inbound plays right here. Coach Peeler does a great job of designing great inbound plays. 2.1 seconds left. You should look for a really good shot here.
Here comes Will Saunders. Chris Martinez Jr., Cade Kaplan, subbing in for Charlton Bradford, Spencer Olminson. Wide getting it into Martinez, pulls a 3. Can't finish. Tip. Nothing. And that's how our first period is going to end. Highland Park leading 21-13 over the Colony. We're going to go down a list of leading scorers. Xavier Green with 4 for the Colony. Aaron Twanto with 4 for the Colony. 2 from Trey Brown. 3 from Ryan Lattendorf. For your Highland Park Scots, Cannon Wide off to his usual fast start with 8 first-quarter points. 5 from Cade Kaplan. 3 from Chris Martinez Jr. Charlton Bradford with 3. Spencer Olminson with 2.
So is that right? Did we keep Dixon off the board that first quarter?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's big.
I don't believe Dixon took a shot, actually.
That's right. I think you're right.
And the Scott said, you know what, we can't let both of you guys go crazy. Now, one thing, if it's one of you, you're going to get your points because those guys are that good.
Yeah.
But if
that's true. If you can hold, maybe if one of them goes off and the other one keep them totally off the board, that's going to work well for us. But right now, 13 points in the first quarter. I think the defense is working. Shots were falling. There was, like you said, a little frenetic pace back and forth. We're going to settle in. They're going to settle in. But starting off with an 8-point lead in the first quarter puts Scots in a good spot.
And it's another big district game already for the Scots. The Scots are 2-0 in district, coming off a big win over Wakeland, 80-61 on Tuesday. The Colony 1-1 in district. They have a 3-point loss to Frisco Reedy, 67-64, but they beat Newman Smith 53-38 this past Tuesday.
I'll tell you what, Reedy's going to be tough. Reedy's played a bunch of close games. They played a really tough schedule. But they're 2-0 starting off, and we're going to run into them here in a week after this.
Much like the Scots, playing a tough non-district slate and a great tournament schedule. There's Xavier Green. Great defense, Charlton Bradford. Ball on the floor, the Colony with it again. Trey Brown, top of the key. He's going to get it over to Trey Burton Jr. Burton with it. Back to Green, and Charlton Bradford in his hip pocket. And there's Burton. Get it over to Trey Brown for a corner 3. Cannot finish. Conrad Noble working hard on the boards for the rebound. Highland Park getting it up the court in a hurry. Spencer Olmidson going to slow it down, and Cannon Wyatt said, let's set up the offense. And Wyatt straight to the basket, runner. Cannot finish, gets his own rebound. Cannon Wyatt, nice finish. 10 points from Wyatt.
Did a great job staying with it. Miss a shot, get your own rebound, put it back in. I like it.
23-13, Highland Park leading. Right at 7 minutes to go before halftime. And Martinez staring down Trey Burton. Over to Xavier Green. Off the screen, three-pointer Green. Cannot finish. Martinez Jr. to rebound. Here comes Martinez. Scott's running. Momentarily before they slow it down. Cannon Wyatt almost pulled that one, but he held up. Said we're going to work for a better shot. And one thing you got to love about the Scots is that they're not going to take any bad shots. Nice cut to the basket. Charlton Bradford.
That's when our offense does the best. Get a good paint touch, get a good cut, easy bucket.
Charlton Bradford with 5. Highland Park up by 12. Xavier Green feeds it to Trey Brown. Conrad Noble rotating on the defense. That's going to be a three-pointer from Trey Burton. The Colony within 9 now. And if you're the Scots, you're okay with them taking threes. You don't want to give them any easy baskets.
For sure. And then keeping them off the offensive glass. That's always going to be the key for us this year. We're not the biggest team. I mean, we do have a couple bigs, but a lot of times that's when we get beat, is when we get beat on the offensive glass.
And Cannon Wyatt chopping like Michael Watts. And Cannon Wyatt with 12 points. Highland Park back up by 11. Cannon Wyatt has only missed one shot so far. Block, Charlton Bradford. Back with it for the Colonies, Trey Burton. He's going to go to the free throw line shooting 2.
That's just a case of getting a little ahead of ourselves, letting the pace kind of get to us. We just got to slow down, get the rebound, wait for that good outlet pass. But as long as we can keep them from getting a lot of momentum and pushing the ball, they're playing good defense. Scots, are looking good at this point.
As you said, the same game plan that they had against Wakeland the other night seems to be working so far, as they have an 11-point lead. Here with the 5 minutes and 29 seconds to go before halftime. Burton missing the first free throw. That one up. Cannot finish that one. Spencer Olmidson the rebound. 0 for 2 at the free throw line. Scots move it up the court in a hurry. Wyatt. Xavier Green said, let's dance. Wyatt accepts. Xavier Green. Nice deflection out of bounds. And Will Saunders is going to come back in. He's going to sub in for Spencer Olmidson. Olmidson, another blue-collar effort. Great job, young man.
Spencer gave us a nice little spark off the bench there.
Always has great energy, him and Charlton Bradford. You got to love it. Martinez with it. Mid-range jumper, yes, sir. Chris Martinez Jr., 5 points from the young man. And Highland Park stretching that lead, 29-16. We hit right at the 5-minute mark here in the second quarter. And there's Dixon behind the back. Conrad Noble sticking with him. Great defense, Conrad Noble. Three-pointer, good. Ryan Lattendorf. 6 points, both of them coming off of corner threes. Highland Park's lead down to 29-19.
Well, I would say this. Scots did what they wanted to do on defense there. They forced Dixon to get the ball out of his hands. He made a good pass. They made a good shot. If Colony's going to do that, they're going to be tough. But, with a 10-point lead right now, like we keep saying, the defensive plan's working. You're going to make some shots, but they're doing what they're supposed to do. Dixon's going to start probably getting pretty frustrated, I would guess. If he's not getting his shots, not getting his points, you might see maybe some forces. But at this point, I think what we've worked on all week to get ready for tonight's game is playing out.
And you see Coach Peely, he's got that clipboard out, he's got the whiteboard out, and he's drawing up a defensive game plan, saying the same thing. Guys, you're doing a good job of not giving up anything easy, but you got Lattendorf now. You got to keep an eye on him. You see that now, because he is 2 for 3 from three-point land. And I said early, you'll give up the threes. You don't want to give up the easy twos.
That's right.
But also you want to rotate on defense, do a great job of defense of getting a hand in the shooter's face. Make them work for it. Coming out of the timeout. 4:51 to go before halftime. Highland Park lead 29-19. Cannon Wide bringing it up. Getting it over to Bradford and back to Wide. He's going to pull that one. Long range. Can't finish it. Out of bounds.
Colony settled back into like a 2-3 zone there. That's the first time I think we've seen zone from them tonight. And we immediately went to our zone offense, which usually means, Cannon and Chris looking for threes.
And there comes Dixon. Behind the back, great defense. Conrad Noble, three-pointer. Can't finish. There is Cannon Wyatt with another rebound. Scott's bring it up the court slowly. And Wyatt's going to get it over to Bradford and back to Wyatt. In the Noble, cutting to the basket. Big Will behind the head. Yes, sir. Will Saunders, his first two of the night. Highland Park up 31-19. And driving to the basket right away and drawing the foul. There is Bryce Dixon.
There you go. He wanted to get his. He got to the rack, got a foul.
And clock stopping here at the 4-minute and 7-second mark before halftime. Scott's leading by 12. And you said it, eventually you're going to see Dixon start to get a little bit more aggressive. Cannot hit the first free throw. That's 3 consecutive misses at the free throw line for the Colony. And Trey Brown going to sub back in for Kamori and Singletary. And we've seen some good things from the young Brown earlier tonight. Makes the second one. That's Bryce Dixon's first points of the night. 32-20, Highland Park lead. Here come the Scots.
It's like the Colonies didn't stay in their 2-3 zone. We'll see how we did a great job of getting into the high post and then looking low immediately. Against that zone, a lot of people always think you just move it around the perimeter and look for an outside shot. That's a great way to break down a zone. If you can get the ball into the high post, you can look to kick it back out to the perimeter, or you can go high-low, and we got an easy bucket on the last possession.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, that is John Hochter with the elite breakdown of fundamentals of breaking down the 2-3 zone on the offensive end. Thank you for that, John. Cade Kaplan subbing in for Chris Martinez Jr. 4:03 mark to here to go right before halftime. Kaplan going to throw it back deep to Wyatt. And he's going to get it back up to Kaplan. Wyatt, Bradford. Back to Kaplan.
2-3 with a little more pressure up top, so they're trying to force the ball out of the guards up the top.
Kaplan with it. And ladies and gentlemen, a reminder, there is no shot clock here. So the Scots can work for an open shot as they do right there. Cade Kaplan. Now look at Big Will working hard. Big Will tipping that one back in for his fourth point of the night. 33-20, Highland Park leading. Here comes Dixon. Straight to the basket, and he finishes. And Bryce Dixon, a nice finish over Conrad Noble. Conrad Noble, don't be mad because you did great on defense. Dixon just did his thing.
So they switch back to a man. Now we got to switch our offense. We're going to run our little maybe gator or what we also call Euro, the little high pick.
And Conrad Noble, he rushes over to get that one. Will getting it over to Cade Kaplan. Kaplan with it. Kaplan chopping. Back to Wyatt. Trey Brown staring him down. Cannon Wyatt says, let's dance, young man. And there's Cannon Wyatt. Feeds it over to the corner. Conrad Noble for three. No finish. Rebound, Trey Brown. The Colony with it. Here come the Cougars. There's Dixon. And Bradford staring them down, as is Noble. Look at Charlton Bradford. Bradford to steal and draws the foul.
There's the double team. It's exactly what we wanted to do. He turned his back on Charlton. Charlton came in from behind, picked his pocket.
And Charlton Bradford, he's going to sub out. Spencer Overson, Chris Martinez back in. Conrad Noble, Charlton Bradford, a much-deserved break for those young men. Great job, Bradford and Noble on the defensive side. 2:23 to go here before halftime. 33-22. Highland Park leads it. And here comes
three-quarter pressure from them. Some trapping.
Martinez beating it. Cannon wide. Runner. Can't finish. Bryce Dixon with it. And here come the Cougars. Dixon behind the back. Crossing. Dixon straight to the basket. And he draws the foul on Will Saunders. Bryce Dixon.
There you can see that D1 talent. That's a Louisiana Tech signee or committee taking the ball from opposite free throw line by himself, dribbles through about 4 guys and gets to the line.
And Bryce Dixon, a great-sized young man, good ball handling skills, and very aggressive. Does not settle for the 3. He can shoot the 3, but he won't settle. He's looking to get to the basket and finish. Blue collar on the offensive end. You love to see it as he hits that first free throw. Conrad Noble subbing back in for Saunders. Dixon misses that one. Olmstead the rebound. Martinez with it. Getting it over to Cade Kaplan. Gets across half court. Martinez with it. Trey Brown coming out to challenge him. Martinez not backing down. Said let's dance, but I'm going to get it to my man Cannon wide for 3. Nothing doing. Here comes Xavier Green after the rebound. Green on the move, straight to the basket. Xavier Green, the nice finish. And now the Colony to within 8. 33-25, Highland Park leading.
Matthew, you can see those two like to get downhill. That's just who's got to stop the ball, got to get the ball out of their hands. Anytime 5 and 13 have the ball going downhill, they are going to go to the rim.
And Highland Park forced to call a timeout. Coach Peeler saying that's a 30-second timeout. Spencer Olmstead was trying to get the ball in. Did not want to force a turnover, so he said timeout.
Well, let's see. What was the end of the first quarter? We were at 20. It was 21-11, I think. So much slower pace, or at least scoring-wise, for us in the second quarter. Their Colony's starting to get a little rhythm, taking the ball to the basket, shrinking that scoring gap a little bit. But minute 26 left. You get into the halftime with somewhere between an 8 and 10 point lead. I think we're going to be in good shape.
As they come out of that 30-second timeout, that's 1:26 to go on the clock before halftime. Highland Park 33, the Colony 25. Cannon Wide gets it into Olmstead, and he gets it right back to Wide, who goes immediately up to Kaplan. And Olmstead was looking to feed Martinez. I think they had a miscommunication.
Yep.
And the Scots with a turnover, which is something they don't do a lot of. But the Colony with it, and there's Dixon. Trey Brown, mid-range, nothing doing. Chris Martinez with it. Martinez coming with it. Olmstead on the roof. He's got Cade Kaplan feeding it to Cannon Wide baseline. Feeds it out to Conrad Noble. Martinez with it now. And
Spencer looked to be open underneath for a little bit. They missed him.
Lot going on in this game of basketball. So many moving parts. And it's not hard to miss a teammate at times.
No.
We are below the 1 minute mark. 36 seconds to go and tick it. Look at Cannon Wide. Crash in the paint, getting to the basket, finger roll. Cannon Wide, 14 first half points. 35-25 the lead, back up to 10 for Highland Park.
I've got a theory on maybe that last turnover and, seeing missing a guy in the paint. We can talk about it when we get a break. It could be a crazy theory, too.
Hey, I'm open to listening to it. Bryce Dixon,
there
man.
He goes.
Wow. Chris Martinez looks like he was fouled. Trey Brown going to heave it from. Oh, that would have counted. That's how the first half ends. Highland Park leading the Colony 35-27. We go down the leading scorers. First for the Colony, Ryan Lattendorf. He's got 6. 6 from Xavier Green. 6 from Bryce Dixon, all coming in the second quarter. 4 from Aaron Twanto. Trey Brown, 2 points. 3 from Trey Burton. For your Highland Park Scots, Cannon Wyatt, 14 first half points. 5 from Cade Kaplan, 4 from Will Saunders. Chris Martinez Jr. with 5. Charlton Bradford with 5, and 2 from Spencer Olmenson. And John and I, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back about 3 minutes before we start the second half, and we're going to talk about some keys to Highland Park getting out of here with a victory. 35-27, Highland Park leading right here at Game One Sports Network. We will return in just a moment.
Although Dixon's starting to get downhill a little bit. It's all right. We're forcing it. Looks nice. It's 12 points. Get the hell out of here. He's kicking in and they're making threes. But they're not going to do that all day.
He's really good. This is where Steeler shines. Game planning against this kind of stuff. This is where he earns his picture.
And welcome back to Game On Sports Network, where Highland Park is leading the Colony 35-27. Again, my name is Matthew Bryce. I'm joined by John Hochter this evening. John has your colorful breakdowns when it comes to the X's and O's in the beautiful game of basketball that we know and love here. And, John, I want to say thank you for coming on to the broadcast with me.
You bet. It's a lot of fun. I'll give you my crazy theory that I brought up at the end of the first half. I have no idea if it has any merit or not. You saw that one turnover we had in the corner where it looked like we were throwing to a ball that there wasn't anybody there. You saw it another couple times where we had some guys open underneath the basket. This gym is very black. You've got the black paint, you've got the black sidelines, you got the black walls. We're wearing our all blacks tonight. There may be some confusion with some of the color schemes in here. It could be totally wrong, but that looked like a play there in the corner where it looked like you saw somebody over there and they just weren't there. And it just could be the coloring in the gym.
That makes sense because Spencer Omenson does not make that mistake at all.
No.
And we're going to give a big shout out to all the families that are tuning in. Grandma Bradford down in the Rio Grande Valley, Brownsville, Texas. Thank you for tuning in. The Martinez family, they are in the house. Grandpa's in the house. Dad, Coach Chris Martinez Sr. in the house. Mr. Wyatt in the house. Grandma and Grandpa Wyatt watching from Denver. Pawpaw Bill from Denton. Cade Kaplan, his grandparents, Gigi, Big Dad, and Uncle Mark, listening from the ranch in Mason. Beautiful Mason, Texas, by the way.
I'll give a shout out. Stephen Cooper is on the broadcast tonight. Former Highland Park Scott star and now Highland Park Scott dad. What's up, Coop?
Thank you for tuning in to all the families. And we're going to get to more as the game goes on. We get ready to start this second half. Highland Park possession. Cannon Wyatt, Chris Martinez, Will Saunders, Cade Kaplan, and Conrad Noble on the floor for your Scots. And Big Will cutting to the basket. Martinez with it. Tries to get it back to Saunders. We're going to turn it over. Here comes Bryce Dixon on the move. Another three-point corner shot. Nothing doing. Martinez Jr. to rebound.
We got to clean up those glass. Get those defensive boards. Keep them off the offensive glass. We'll be all right.
And Martinez, he's going to draw the foul. Looks like they got Aaron Twanto for his second of the evening.
We talked about it in the first half, Matthew. I mean, if we can get them one and done, take an outside shot, get a miss, get a rebound, then we're off and going on transition.
Yes, sir. Wyatt getting it in the wheel. I almost was able to put it back up, but the Colony doing a good job of rotating on defense. Below the 7.5-minute mark here in the third quarter. Look at Big Will working to get that shot off, and he draws a foul. He's going to go to the free throw line.
Love the post moves by Will there. Will doesn't like to play, or not that he doesn't like to. He doesn't do a lot of playing with his back to the basket down in the deep post. He's more of a wing player, but he's got some nice post moves when he needs to use them.
And Aaron Twanto is a great size kid himself. Definitely not missing leg day. Saunders can't get the first one to go. And Saunders It's 6-7. And a big shout out to his family, his mom, always in the building. Laura, thank you for all you do, and thank you for having me. Saunders can't get either one to go. Here comes Bryce Dixon.
Laura Saunders is captain mom extraordinaire. It's her second year doing it. She always gives a bunch back to the program.
And Ryan Lattendorf, he's got 9 points, all on corner 3-point shots. 35-30 is the lead for the Scots. 6:56 to go and ticking. Here in the third quarter. And Noble getting it over to Cannon Wide. Off the screen, Noble cuts to the basket, get it back to Martinez. And Noble didn't have a good look at a layup, but Cade Kaplan with a 3-point shot cannot finish. The Colony back with it. Lattendorf another corner 3. Nothing doing. Cannon Wide the rebound. Wide on the run. Cannonball picks it up. Gets it over to Conrad Noble. Big Wheel can't control it. And Big Wheel forcing a turnover. Big Wheel to finish. Yes, sir.
That was big. Momentum was starting to get into the Colony's way. We were starting to get a little frenetic, throwing the ball around, and able to get that back and get an easy bucket. That was good.
And Conrad Noble welcomes Bryce Dixon to the block party. That's 3 blocks on the night for the Highland Park Scots on the defensive side of the court. 16 to go here in the third period. 37-30 the Scots lead. Trey Brown throwing it in. Gets it into Xavier Green. He pulls the 3 immediately. And 9 points for Xavier Green. Highland Park lead down to 4.
Well, now we got to start running them off the 3 because they just keep knocking those down. That's how you cut into a big lead quickly. Knock down 3s.
And Cade Kaplan went to the basket, turns it over. Xavier Green with it. Bryce Dixon with it. He pulls the 3. Nothing doing. Trey Brown the rebound. Lattendorf for open 3. Nothing doing. Lattendorf follows his shot. Lattendorf cannot finish. Another rebound. Trey Brown over to Bryce Dixon. Nothing doing. Cannon Wide the rebound.
What I say about offensive rebounds, we got lucky there, but that's where that can kill you.
And make no mistake, the Colony is one of the better 3-point shooting teams, not just in the DFW Metroplex, but in the state. Cannon Wide with it, 3-pointer up. Nothing doing. Trey Brown the rebound. Cannon Wide got fouled on that shot, John. Twanto with it. He's going to get it over to Brown. Brown's got a wide open lane. Big Wheel. Good defense, but Trey Brown finishes. 37-35. Scots lead. 4:43 to go and ticking in the third quarter.
Well, you knew they were going to make a run. This is where you got to calm the game down, get a good look here, get a bucket, and go back and play D.
And there's the 3-point shot up. Cannon Wide can't finish. Rebounded. Xavier Green. Here come the Cougars. On the move. Cade Kaplan staring down Xavier Green for 3. Nothing doing. Twanto the rebound. And Bryce Dixon with it now. Gets the screen. He's going to fire up a 3. Nothing doing. Cannon Wide the rebound. I almost called him Cade Kaplan. My apologies, Cannon.
Well, I messed you up at the beginning of the season, giving you the wrong numbers, and we got it right now.
Martinez, runner. Yes, sir. Chris Martinez, great shot. And that's 7 points for Martinez to stop the bleed. Timeout on the floor.
That was a big bucket. Stop the momentum. Did we call the timeout there?
I think it looks like it was the Colony, I thought.
Okay. Anyway, Coach Peeler likes to do that too. When you get a bucket, then you can kind of reset the defense. Maybe we might see a little different defense. I don't think we've seen our 1-3-1 that we like to play. This game we've been sticking with that double teaming Dixon, face guarding on Green. Maybe a little change of pace. We might see a little 1-3-1 coming out of this timeout.
And get back to playing some assignment basketball. Someone's got to keep an eye now on the young man Ryan Lattendorf. He's got 9 points for the Colony. And not afraid to pull the trigger on that 3-pointer. And he's got a quick release, so you can't give him much room.
No, and typically you don't want a good 3-point shooting team. You don't want to play a zone against them. But just as a change of pace, just to give them something to think about, get them out of their rhythm. That's when you would throw it in. That's not typically a defense I think we'd want to play against this team, but it certainly would one that maybe just for a little spot change of pace on them. We'll see what we do. We might stick with our regular man-to-man we've been doing all night.
And we're getting back to action. Going to be possession the Colony. Charlton Bradford subbing in. Spencer Olmanson, he subs in as well. Joining Conrad Noble, Chris Martinez Jr., and Cannon Wyatt on the floor.
Okay, so it's not the zone, but we did change it up. We're going to go with some full court pressure here.
And you see Bradford in Xavier Green's hip pocket. Martinez staring down Trey Brown. Brown has it. He's going to bring it up. Martinez sticking with him. Giving up a few inches, but we know Martinez is fearless. That means nothing to him. Xavier Green's Twanto had a three-pointer. He passed it up. He's going to get it over to Dixon. Bryce Dixon. And 39. 38.
When a guy like that can go to the basket as hard as he can and also can hit from three, it's hard to defend.
Got an offensive foul, Conrad Noble. And I believe, if my score is correct me if I'm wrong on that, John. That is the Colony's first lead of the game at 38-37.
Well, we're up 39-38.
For some reason, I thought the Scots. Oh, you're right.
Yep.
It was 39-35.
We got the two. Yep.
It was 39-35 at the timeout.
But you are right. We've had the lead from the jump.
Yes, sir. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Back to action. Xavier Green straight to the basket. He draws the foul. And here comes the Colony getting real aggressive.
And this will be their chance to take the first lead of the game if they knock these two down. They've been kind of struggling from the line tonight. I don't know if we have their free throw numbers or not, but I know they've missed at least 4 or 5 so far.
They missed their last three consecutives. I do know that. And Green missing that one. That's 4 consecutive misses. Trey Burton going to sub in for Trey Brown for the Colony.
I've never had a chance to do the announcer's curse, so I'm glad that worked out. Not the other way where I would say that maybe they've been struggling and they make one, but there we go, 0 for 2.
Whoa, 5 consecutive misses for the Colony.
I'm going to take credit for both of those, Matthew.
2:53 to go at ticket here in the third period. Highland Park still up 39-38. And Cannon Wyatt getting it back from Conrad Noble. The Colony, you can tell they've turned it up on defense a little bit. Spencer Olmanson with it. Gets it off to Bradford. And he's back to Cannon Wyatt. Coach Pila on his feet, telling the Scots to rotate. Telling guys to move around. Conrad Noble moved to his right. Cannon Wyatt with it. Spencer Olmanson, one of the 3, but Trey Burton right in his face. Olmanson over to Martinez Jr. for 3. Yes!
That's big.
Chris Martinez Jr. with a big three-pointer. 10 points for Martinez. 42-38.
Freshman.
Highland Park lead. And there's Dixon straight back to it. Conrad Noble.
Over the back.
And they're going to get Aaron Twantova over the back, as you said, John. Subbing in, you got Will Saunders, Alex Stockwood coming in for Cade Kaplan. Conrad Noble. Looks like, Kaplan not coming in. Bradford still on the court. Saunders in. Stockwood in. Joining Olmanson and Martinez.
They're going to turn up the pressure like that on the ball. This is really where you like to have a great ball handler and a great point guard like Chris Martinez. He's shown a great job of being able to handle pressure at such an early age, his first year on varsity.
Very mature beyond his years. And there's Bradford getting it off to Stockwood. Back to Olmanson and right back to Stockwood. And Stockwood back to Martinez. Martinez baseline. Bradford was cutting. And they say Martinez stepped on the inbound line. Out of bounds.
I didn't see that. That was a great look.
And Bradford, he was cutting to the basket. He had a layup. Martinez to steal. Big Will with it. Gets it over to Bradford. Stockwood. Martinez back with it. And back to Stockwood. And back to Big Will. Saunders getting it over to Martinez Jr. Martinez Jr. going to top. Trey Brown sticking with him. Martinez over to Stockwood for three. Yes! Alex Stockwood! His first 3 points of the night. Back-to-back three-pointers from the young freshman of Chris Martinez and Alex Stockwood.
Shows a lot for the future of the program right there. You get Martinez hits a three on one possession. Next possession down, he dribbles through a lot of pressure, finds his buddy, the guy he always knows where he is. Alex knocks down a big three. That's huge. And
Martinez started that with a steal off the inbounds pass.
That's right.
And Bryce Dixon with it. Olmenson sticking with it. And they're going to get Bryce Dixon for an offensive foul. And, John, you talked about refs keeping an eye on that charge. That's the second one they've called tonight, one each way.
That one was not a flop. Bryce just ran right over Chris there.
We got some subs in. Looks like for the Colony. Aaron Twanto back in. Ryan Latendorf, he's going to take a seat for the Colony. Martinez with it. Trey Burton staring him down. Martinez up for the challenge. Says, let's dance, Trey. Gets a screen from Olmenson. Trey Brown switches off. Will with it. Back over to Stockwood. Stockwood back to Olmenson. And back to Charlton Bradford. Off the screen. And Saunders with it. Over to Stockwood. Over to Martinez. Cutting to the basket. Will. Bradford cutting to the basket. Blocked by Aaron Twanto. Wow, great defense for the Colony. You got to tip your hat for him. Xavier Green, runner, nothing doing. Rebound, Green, cannot finish. Working hard, Trey Brown's got it. Trey Brown finishes.
Offensive rebounds, Matthew.
45-40, Highland Park leads. 10 seconds to go and ticking here in the third quarter. Scott's going to hold for the final shot. Martinez chops three. And we got out of bounds on the Colony.
Okay, this is one of those out-of-bounds situations I talked about earlier in the first half. We're going to have something drawn up here. Coach Peeler has a plethora of options to pull from. He's got a ton of out-of-bounds, baseline out-of-bounds plays.
Conrad Noble subbing in. And they're getting it into Saunders.
Call it. Wait, they called. They blew the whistle. There's a foul.
I think they got
this
Saunders.
Ref pointed this way. Is he calling a charge?
He got Saunders for a charge. Yes, he did.
Oh, I don't like that. The guy's standing underneath the basket. We don't have the restricted line in high school, but if we had a restricted line like we have in college and in pros, that is guy's definitely standing in the restricted area. That's a tough call.
Yes, sir. And that is how the third quarter is going to end. Highland Park leading the Colony 45-40. Updating on the leading scorers. For the Colony first, 9 for Xavier Green, 9 for Bryce Dixon, 9 for Ryan Latendorf, 4 for Aaron Twanto, 6 for Trey Brown. Trey Burton with 3 also. We go over to your Highland Park Scots. 14 for Kenan Wyatt, 10 from Chris Martinez Jr., 5 for Cade Kaplan, 6 for Will Saunders, 2 for Spencer Olmenson, 5 from Charlton Bradford. Alex Stockwood with his first 3 points of the night, coming on a huge three-pointer there in the third period. Now, John, you're Highland Park. You want to get out of here with a win. What's the key?
Well, I'll tell you what. We weathered the storm. They got it to within 1. They never took the lead. They've tried to turn up the intensity, tried to turn up the pressure, try to get us out of our rhythm. I think we've weathered that a little bit. Here we are. We're seeing Drew Fisher, sophomore, number 21, his first time in the game. Oh, Matthew, we missed the fact that they put 3.3 seconds back on the clock. And we're sitting here getting ready for the fourth quarter. I thought that was a really short break between the third and the fourth quarter. And here we go, Coach Peeler putting out Drew out there to start the fourth quarter for his first action. Drew's been great for us all year coming off the bench, but I thought that was kind of an interesting spot to put him in. But what he did there is he put the 6'7" kid with length to guard that inbound play. And that was what was going on while you and I were trying to figure out the keys to winning the game. We were missing the fact that there's 0.3 seconds left, but no harm, no foul.
And what happened was, ladies and gentlemen, I thought the foul was after the buzzer. And then I remember they did call Saunders for the charge before the clock hit 0.
That's right.
So that's on me. That's on me.
No, you know what? I was too busy complaining about the call in the restricted area, and we just lost it.
Fair point.
That's what you get when you get a homer color commentator, I guess.
Hey, I respect the fact that you call yourself a homer. I'm not even mad at that.
Hey, we're paying for the broadcast. We're going to say whatever we want to say.
It is what it is.
You get a dad of a player on the mic, and that's what you're going to get.
And speaking of, we want to send a big shout out to Anderson Hochter. He's not playing, but he is one of the heart and souls and captains of this Highland Park basketball team. You see him over there sitting between Coach Scoop Reed and Coach David Peeler.
Yeah, first possession of the second half of the first game of the season, Anderson went from one of the best players on the team, captains on the team, to now assistant coach with one unfortunate injury, but he's fighting through it.
And that's all you can ask for, and we're going to keep young Anderson Hochter in prayer. Fourth quarter, crunch time. Here we are. Look at Charlton Bradford screening the pass, forcing a turnover. I don't know how you don't love Charlton Bradford.
He's our energy guy this year for sure. That was a role Anderson had last year. It's a very important role. The guy that can play on both sides of the court, offense, defense, but really bringing the energy.
And Will Saunders tip in on the rebound. Working hard on the glass. 8 points from Big Will. 47-40. Highland Park leading over the Colony. 7:19 to go in ticket here in regulation. And Will Saunders playing some good defense on the boards. There's another big three-pointer up, nothing doing. The Colony, Twanto, the rebound. Gets it into Bryce Dixon. Big Will, good defense. Trey Brown with it. Good defense, but Trey Brown finishes. You got to tip your hat to him. Can't even be mad at yourself.
The only way the Colony is staying in this game is that they're hitting the offensive glass, and if we're going to keep this lead, we got to keep them off the glass. I keep saying it. People are probably saying I'm tired of you saying it, but that's going to be a key to this.
Rebounding is the key, and putting a stop to the second chance points. At Highland Park, Stockwood, Bradford on the court with Conrad Noble, Big Will Saunders there to finish with Cannon White. Will Saunders, 10 points now. Double-digit scoring, joining Chris Martinez Jr. and Cannon White in the double-digit scoring range. But we got a timeout called on the floor.
It's a really nice look we had on the offensive side that last possession. Alex Stockwood finding Will underneath the basket there.
Bringing the score to 49-42 here in the fourth quarter. As we go down to the rest of the Scotts families that are watching. Dee Dee and Wills supporting Will Saunders from Hideaway, Texas. Along with Grandma Bradford down in Brownsville. Got Mr. and Mrs. Poster watching from Thousand Oaks, California, supporting Charlton Bradford. Alex Stockwood, the Stockwood family in the house as always. Uncle Paul, big shout out to Uncle Paul. Martinez, his dad in the building. His entire family looks like they're in the building. Gotta love it. Zach Jackson, Zach's grandmother Janie, watching from Flower Mound.
You know, Matthew, you mentioned Laura Saunders earlier, and I talked about what a great job she's done as a captain mom this year. I'd be remiss if I did not mention my sweet wife, Christina Hochter, and the job she's done as captain mom this year. And, of course, our other captain mom, Tiffany Wyatt. Those three ladies work really, really hard for this program. And all the parents. It's just it's a great program where all the parents buy in, moms, dads, siblings, everybody. It's a great program.
And a big shout out to the moms, the team moms. And we also have, I believe it's either Stockwood or Martinez, has an aunt watching from San Diego. Beautiful San Diego. Trey Brown with it, getting it over to his guy Latendorf, and back to Trey Brown. We see Chris Martinez going to the scores table. He's getting ready to sub back in. Conrad Noble working hard on the defensive side. Great job, Conrad. Xavier Green shot up, nothing doing. Twanto gets it off, throws it off of Cannon White, but from what I saw, it hit Twanto on the way out.
It sure looked like it. I think the ref was pointing to Cannon. Maybe Cannon was standing out when it hit him before it hit the other guy standing out of bounds. Either way, it looked like it should have been Scott's ball, but he's standing there. We're 100 feet away.
Yes,
200 feet away.
Xavier Green, paint. Cannot finish. Will working hard. Will Saunders with it. And we got a timeout call. Will Saunders working hard under there. Taking a smart timeout. And that's going to stop the clock at 5:45. 7-point lead, 49-42 to Scott's lead.
Let's see if they update the scoreboard here. If that's right, we have 3 left. They have 2, or maybe we had 3 and they haven't updated the scoreboard yet. But to have 2 timeouts left after that, if you're down to no timeouts left there, maybe the possession arrow in our favor, you keep it. But that's a good timeout. Yeah, they did just adjust it. So we have 2 left.
Very good. Great call on that, John. And for those of you who are also watching and supporting family on the team, please hit me up on Instagram. My handle, Matthew on the mic, Matthew_on_the_Mike, or you can type in my biological name, Matthew Allen Bryce. I come right up. And if there are other families that are supporting elsewhere here in the United States or anywhere else around the country or the world, let me know. Send it in my inbox. I'll be sure to shout them out. Or if you got John Hockler's phone number, just text him.
Hit me up.
Absolutely. Martinez with it. Back to Bradford, and he goes right back to Martinez. Going to get it over to wide. Saunders with it. And Highland Park not going to force anything.
No, it looks like we're trying to either run some clock here or a specific set play.
And best believe, if it's going to be a shot taken, it's going to be a shot that they work to get open for. And Will Saunders with it in the corner.
Don't want to get trapped in the corner. Good cut by Charlton.
Cannon Wide, he's pulling that one. From Nebraska Furniture Mart. Cannon Wide, 17 points.
It's a great cut by Charlton. Getting the ball in the paint and a nice pass to find Cannon in the corner.
Scott's lead back up to 10. Aaron Twanto, you knew he was going to flush it. Baseline. And Twanto getting the Colony back to within 8. 4:37 to go and ticking here in the 4th period. Cannon Wide with it. Knocked away. Xavier Green comes up with it. And Green on the move. Up. And he finishes. 11 points for Xavier Green. The Colony to within 6.
This is where we got to be strong with the ball.
And Martinez gets it from wide. Martinez over to Noble. Back to wide. And Bradford has it. He's going to get it over to Conrad Noble. He's going to go back to Bradford and over to Martinez. And they turn up the pressure. Cannon Wide. He's pulling that one. Cannon Wide! Clutch! $20 points for Cannon Wide. Highland Park lead back up to 9. And there's a 3-pointer from Trey Burton. Nothing doing. Conrad Noble to rebound. Cannon Wide with it. 3:34 to go and ticking here in the 4th quarter. Martinez with it. Chopping. Martinez the runner. Charlton Bradford.
Ooh.
Nothing doing. Aaron Twanto to rebound.
It's a good look. We're knocking down threes. We are tough to beat, Matthew.
I was getting ready to lose it if Bradford hit that one. And Xavier Green to finish. 13 points for Xavier Green as we got a timeout here on the floor.
That's a good shot. It's an open look, but it turns into about a 5-point swing. 3-point bucket right there. We go up double digits. We don't make. They get transition and get an easy 2. Now we're looking at a 7-point lead.
And Charlton Bradford is a guy you want to take that shot.
Sure. Charlton's been knocking him down all year. He's judicious with his shots, and he takes them when they're open, and I think he's been knocking them down at around 40% this year. So that's a shot you want him to take, and it's a good look. It just in and out, didn't go.
You win some, you lose some. But nonetheless, 55-48. That's the score here in the fourth quarter.
I will say this. Last year we were here. That whole student section behind the basket on our right over here was full and very loud. And I'm glad that they decided not to show up tonight, because when they get on a run and they get some momentum and they're getting up and down the court and they're feeding off the energy of their crowd, that's what makes them tough to beat. We've done a good job of sort of stopping a lot of the runs. You saw it there. They made some buckets. They got it down to within a 1 or 2 possession game, and then we made some big shots.
Student sections are very, very important. As we've seen in past Highland Park games played against Jesuit and Lake Highlands.
That's right. And get our student sections come out on Tuesday nights this year.
Got to hurry up and get it across the court, and Highland Park turns it over. One of the things that the Colony does well, the press.
So, yes, the key to victory. We've got 3 minutes left. We've got a 7-point lead. Take care of the ball. Take care of the ball. Take care of the ball. Rebound on the defensive end. And we'll go home with a win.
It's that simple, and it is that important. Bryce Dixon over to Twanto. Got another three-pointer. Ryan Lattendorf. 12 points. All on three-pointers. 55-51, Highland Park leads. 2:43 to go and ticking. Peeler on his feet. Will Saunders with it. The Colony forcing a turnover. Xavier Green on the move. Straight to the basket, and he finishes. 15 points for Xavier Green. 55-53, Highland Park. And yes, it is that loud in here. Cade Kaplan with it. Over to Cannon Wyatt. Wyatt. Baseline. It looks like he drew the foul. They got Aaron Twanto that time. Scott's with possession, 2:09. 2-point game, 55-53. We approached that 2-minute mark.
This was a lot easier for me to call when we had a bigger lead, and you can see me get kind of quiet as I've caught myself watching more than calling the game.
And now we got a timeout called by Highland Park. Clock stoppage here at the 1:56 mark. The Colony on the heater. It was 55-47. Cougars, 6-0 run. Lots of momentum.
So I'll give you one more key. We have a 2-point lead now. I don't see them going to the foul game yet. They're just going to go play good, hard defense. There's no shot clock in the high school game, which I don't love, but it is what it is. We're gonna try and run clock. At some point, they're going to foul, whether it's this possession or if we can get a stop and get another bucket, they're going to have to start fouling. We are a good free throw shooting team. I think we've shot around 74-75% from the line all year. We know how to get our best 5 free throw shooters on the court and our best ball handlers on the court to close out a game. And so if we do keep this lead and it does get into a foul game, I do like our chances.
And you see Coach Peeler, he had that clipboard out again. Coaching up a master plan. Martinez, Jr., Kaplan, Saunders, Wyatt, Olmenson. Those are your 5 that are on the court for the Scots. Trey Brown, Bryce Dixon, Aaron Twanto, Ryan Lattendorf, and the man Xavier Green on the court for the Colony. 55-53 Highland Park.
Let's get the ball inbounds. Try to slow down, slow down the pace. Don't let them try to rush you. We've still got 2 minutes left in this game. There's nothing to panic yet.
And any shot you take, it has to be a good shot. Cade Kaplan with it over to Martinez. And Martinez cutting to the basket, over the wide, over to Olminson. The Colony rotating on defense. Feed it into Will Saunders. Will Saunders cannot finish. Rebound, Trey Brown.
Got a good look. It just didn't fall. Now you just got to go play defense. And you have to box out and get the rebound.
Boxing out is a must. Bryce Dixon with it. And pushes down Spencer Olminson. Nothing doing. Will working hard. Twanto back up with it. We got a tie game. 55-55. You see the clock. We are officially at 1 minute left in regulation. Martinez over to Olminson. Over to Cannon wide. Over to Will Saunders. Martinez Jr. Back to Cade Kaplan. Will cutting to the basket. Will on the floor. He gets it back. And we got a timeout called by Coach Peeler at Highland Park. Bodies hitting the floor. Great defense played on both ends.
I'll tell you what, one thing throughout this season, there's been a lot of loose balls that haven't gotten the Highland Park's way. And that's a great aggressive play by Saunders there, getting on the floor. You know, offense didn't go the way you want it to go. Sometimes that happens. The ball breaks down. You got to get on the floor. You got to be the first one to get to it. Avoid a possession arrow. A possession arrow is in our favor, but we called our last timeout there. We got to be careful now. We're down under a minute, playing without a timeout with a tie ball game.
And that's a full timeout called by the Scots. And Highland Park, one thing I noticed about the Colony, they're doing something that Highland Park does a good job of. They are clogging up the passing lanes. The Scots are very good at making life miserable for opposing teams when it comes to throwing the ball across and getting a pass into a cutting guy. Yep. The Colony has turned up the pressure on them.
Lots of deflections, getting the hand on the ball in the paint. A lot of those passes, we do a great job of ball movement. And a lot of those passes that are going to lead to easy scores, you're right, they're getting their hands on.
We have seen some good coaching on both sides of this one, from both Highland Park and the Colony.
Okay, we'll see if Coach Peeler wants to get a shot off of this inbound play or if we're just looking to get it in and then run a set play.
Martinez with it, getting it into Olminson. Over to Martinez. Cade Kaplan's open in the corner. He was momentarily. Will Saunders has it. Going to go back to Kaplan. Olminson wants to give him a screen. They rotate Bryce Dixon.
Looks like we're playing for one shot, Matthew.
Cannon wide. Keep your eyes on him. He is Mr. Clutch. Spencer Olminson with it. And Spencer Olminson draws the foul. 20.8 seconds to go in this one.
I don't see their bonus indication on their scoreboard. I guess neither team is. No idea how many team fouls they have.
Wide with it. We are below the 20-second mark. You were right. They're holding for one shot. 13 to go and ticking. Cade Kaplan, Will Saunders, Chris Martinez. Martinez got it. Martinez, three-pointer up. Nothing doing.
Oh, they called
We got a foul
on the rebound. Where are we on the team fouls?
John, I think we're headed to overtime. We got extra basketball, ladies and gentlemen.
They have this brand new, beautiful gym. We've got a scoreboard that doesn't indicate team fouls on either team. Their video board is this drop-down screen over here. I wish the Louisville Independent School District would have consulted with me when they were designing this gym and their AV in this beautiful palace.
Well, be that as it may, we're going to overtime. 55-55. Highland Park and the Colony, they're tied up. In case you just tuned in, my name is Matthew Bryce. I have your play-by-play. John Hochter with your color commentary and elite breakdown when it comes to fundamental skill. Mr. Hochter, thank you for joining me.
Glad to be here. I'll tell you this. If anything, the Scots are very experienced in overtime games. We had a 4-overtime affair at the Allen tournament, the in-and-out tournament. It didn't go our way. We had lots of chances to win in regulation and in overtimes. Didn't happen. I think we're due for one, Matthew. We're due for I actually thought that last possession is when we were going to be due for one. We've had some good looks at the last-second possessions, and they haven't fallen. But here we go. 4 minutes to right some wrongs.
Cannon Wide, Cade Kaplan, Chris Martinez Jr., Will Saunders, Spencer Overson. That's how we start overtime. Aaron Chuanto, Trey Brown, Xavier Green, Ryan Lattendorf, and Bryce Dixon for the Colony. Saunders, Chuanto, jump it off.
I don't know if they called a foul, an illegal touch on the jump.
Yes, sir. I believe you are correct, John.
See if they changed the possession arrow. Yeah, they did. So they gave us possession off the tap, and the Cougars will have the possession arrow in their favor.
Martinez catching the inbounds from Cannon Wide. And Will gave him a screen, but he's going to go to Overson, who goes over to Kaplan and goes back to Saunders. Martinez with it. Back to Cannon Wide. Overson, Kaplan. And Kaplan get back to Saunders, and Martinez with it now. Spencer Overson looks like he was going to pull the trigger, but he passed on it.
I don't mind him taking the shot there. Depends on what Coach Peeler's wanting them to do out of this possession here.
Yes, sir. Martinez with it. Back to Will Saunders. And the Scots just working to get a fair shot, working to get a good shot.
Surely we're not trying to hold the ball for 4 minutes.
I don't believe that myself. Will Saunders was looking to cut to the basket, but Aaron Chuanto right there step for step with it.
That's what I talked about. I don't love the high school game not having a shot clock, but is what it is. So maybe we're taking advantage of it, and we're going to turn this overtime into a one-possession game.
And probably looking for someone to fall asleep on the defensive side. A big wheel in the post. Martinez with it. Straight to the basket. Martinez the finger roll. Martinez with 12 points. Highland Park leading 57-55. 2:26 to go. Xavier Green with it. Green crossing. Mid-range runner. Nothing doing. Great rebound. Will Saunders. Cade Kaplan the rebound. Kaplan on the move. Kaplan getting it over to Olminster. And Martinez
Smart play.
has it.
Smart play pulling that out. It wasn't there. We don't need it. Let's get another good shot.
Don't force it. And Martinez getting it over to Cannon Wide. Wide. And we got a turnover. And here comes Bryce Dixon. Trey Brown with it. Foul. Spencer Olminster. And the clock stops at the 1:53 mark to here in overtime.
So we're taking care of the ball. Comes in again. It leads to transition for the Colony there. But they've struggled from the line tonight. Let's see what happens here.
5 consecutive misses. They make that one. Trey Brown, 9 points. And Trey Burton is going to sub in for Ryan Lattendorf for the Colony. 57-56 Highland Park leads. Brown hits the second one. Trey Brown with 10 points, and we got a 57 all game. 1:49 to go and ticket. Overtime, Chris Martinez with it. Over to Spencer Olminster. Back to Cade Kaplan. And over to Olminster. And we got that one out of bounds on the Colony.
Got to be careful there. We got a little out of rhythm. I like the first two possessions, working it around the perimeter, waiting for a good shot. We'll force it inside a little bit there. It's all right. We got a ball out of bounds. We got the minute and 35 left in the tie game.
Tied up at 57 all. 1:35 to go in overtime. Cannon Wyatt leading Highland Park with 20 points. Chris Martinez Jr. with 12. 10 from Will Saunders. 5 from Charlton Bradford. 5 from Cade Kaplan. 2 from Spencer Olmondson. And 3 from Alex Stockwood.
Hope you didn't have anywhere to be tonight, Matthew. We might turn it another 4 overtime game. This game started late. The girls' game went a little late. We started late. Now we're going even later.
Well, that's all right.
It's not a school night. We're okay.
That's all right. It's a Friday evening. I'm just going to get back home to my wife and my youngin' Hendrix. Big shout out to my wife, Jennifer Bryce. And I say a life lesson to everyone watching. Get a quality partner in your life. Young men, the woman you have in your life, it matters. Make sure she's your best friend and make sure you are her best friend. When you have the woman in your life that is your best friend, we go to new heights as men. We go to heights that we didn't imagine we could soar to.
Preach.
Back to basketball. Big Will getting it from Martinez. Martinez back with it from Big Will. Martinez getting it over to Cannon Wide. The Colony playing some intense defense. Cannon Wide, a tough shot.
It's a big shot.
22 points. Cannon Wide. Highland Park back in front, 59-57. Xavier Green with it. Martinez going for the steal, nothing doing. Xavier Green the shot. Xavier Green. 17 points for Xavier Green, 59 all. Ladies and gentlemen, you see a classic basketball game unfolding right before your eyes. We are below the 1 minute mark.
Gotta get it over. 10 seconds. There we go.
Cade Kaplan with it. 53 seconds to go. 59 all. Martinez with it. Cannon Wide. Martinez. Will Saunders. Finish Will Saunders. 12 points for Will Saunders. 61-59. 37 seconds to go. The Colony with possession. And we got a foul from Cade Kaplan. I think that was on purpose.
Intentional.
Very much intentional.
Offensive defense substitution here. Bring in Conrad as a big, and as we said before, Charlton's a big defensive spark.
And look at the Colony countering as they bring in that hot hand, Ryan Lattendorf. He subs in for Trey Burton, 33, 61-59. Highland Park leading. Trey Xavier Green.
Grab it.
Rebound, Chris Martinez Jr. Somebody give him some help. We got a foul call.
I think Coach Peeler may have called timeout before the foul.
Okay. You're right. Coach Peeler did call timeout before the foul. 20.6 seconds to go. And Xavier Green. Now, we just talked about Charlton Bradford with that quality defense. Bradford coming in off the bench, forcing a bad three-pointer from Green. Green has been hot since the beginning of the fourth quarter. He's leading the Colony with 17 points, but Bradford said, I got to shut that down, young man.
It's a great coaching move there. Get the intentional foul. Set your defense up the way you want to. Get the guy you want guarding their best player with the ball in his hands. Charlton played him and forced him into a bad shot. You called it right, Matthew.
And the Scots come out of that timeout.
Wouldn't you love to know how many team fouls each team had right now?
Absolutely.
Well, look at this! Look at this big, beautiful scoreboard. I wish they would tell us. I don't know if we're in the bonus or not. But either way, the Colony's going to have to start to foul and get us on the line. They're going to probably try and trap, get some pressure on us, see if they can get a steal. And then at some point, as soon as we get it over into our side, they're going to get a foul.
And speaking of the bonus, neither team has gone into the bonus all night. Cannon Wide, Spencer Olmondson, Will Saunders, Chris Martinez Jr., Cade Kaplan. That's who's on the floor for Highland Park. And he gets it in. Martinez catches the foul. I don't think Bryce Dixon meant any harm. He's just trying to stop the clock, ladies and gentlemen.
Just a good hard foul.
That's it. He was playing basketball. Bryce Dixon, Xavier Green, Trey Burton, Aaron Twanto, and Trey Brown. Those are the 5 that are on the floor for the Colony.
Bryce fouled out. That's big.
Very huge. Bryce Dixon fouling out with 19 seconds to go in overtime.
Really surprised there by the Colony. You've got your best player on the court with 4 fouls, and that's the guy that gets the intentional foul. I think that's just, you got to have somebody else. There's plenty of time. There are 20 seconds left. I would have liked to seen them have somebody else make that foul and keep their best player on the court.
Ryan Latendorf is going to sub in for him. Joining Trey Burton, Xavier Green, and Trey Brown and Aaron Twanto on the floor. Cade Kaplan with it. Got to get it across, guys. Chris Martinez getting it over to Cannon Wide.
Foul Cannon, he's our best free throw shooter.
Cannon Wide gets the foul, and he's excited. He said, let's go to the free throw line. 9.7 seconds to go in this one. Highland Park leading the Colony 61-59. Here on Game On Sports Network, my name is Matthew Bryce with the play-by-play, John Hocker, the color.
Cannon's been a 90% free throw shooter his whole career. Now you can see why. Great looking shot.
That's 23 points for Cannon Wide. We got Charlton Bradford subbing in, as is Conrad Noble. They sub in for Cade Kaplan and Spencer Olmanson.
This is a big one here, Matthew. This turns a 1-possession game into a 2-possession game. Get a 4-point game here with 9 seconds left. It's hard to come back from that.
Hits it. 24 for Cannon Wide. Xavier Green, don't foul him. Miss. Charlton Bradford, a rebound.
Colony's ball off the possession arrow. As long as we don't foul here, it's almost mathematical. Well, they do have a timeout, so if they make a bucket, they can stop the clock and then set something up here.
2.3 seconds to go. You let Xavier Green shoot that. He misses. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. That is it. Highland Park victorious over the Colony. 63-59 to move to 3-0 in district play, John.
That's a big win. You can see how excited Coach Peeler is. Moved to 3-0. We got to exercise some demons from getting beat here last year. It kind of put us on a skid at the end of the season. But big win and a tough place to win against 2 Division I athletes. And I'll let you wrap it up.
As we go down the leading scorers for both teams. Xavier Green leading the way for the Colony with 17. 12 from Ryan Latendorf. 9 from Bryce Dixon. 8 from Aaron Twanto. 10 from Trey Brown, the young sophomore. Keep your eyes on him the next few years. 3 from Trey Burton. Now for your Highland Park Scots. Cannon Wyatt, 24 points. What can you say about it? 12 from Chris Martinez Jr. 12 from Will Saunders. 5 from Cade Kaplan. 5 from Charlton Bradford. 3 from Alex Stockwood. 2 from Spencer Olmanson. And John, let me say again, big win for the Scots, going to 3-0 in district play in a very tough district and getting the win on the road here at the Colony.
This was big. We started off with a tough start to the district. You got to play Wakeland, you got to play the Colony. We get Newman Smith and Reedy early in the schedule, and so this was a big one to get a road win. Anytime you win against one of the better teams in the district, that's a big win. And so starting off 3-0 gives us a nice head start against the rest of the district.
And as we wrap up, we say thank you to the Highland Park community for allowing us to come out as part of Game On Network, Game On Sports Network, and serve the community, bringing this broadcast all over the world via the internet. John Hockler, thank you for joining me on the broadcast. Again, my name is Matthew Bryce. And on behalf of Game On Sports, we say God bless and we say game on.